second, if that. That Mentalist was able to sneak into that base, and now we're going to game 2 with EGAxslav down by a point.
I have bad news, Katsu.
What's that?
I was told I'm banned from casting until I can say EGAxslav right, and I'm gonna be saying EGAxslav for a very long time. So
Instead of
everyone's like,
EGAxslav?
man, it's EGAxslav.
Well, there's no
That's the-
accent over the A, and typically, like, L-A-V makes a lav sound. But you know what? I say Jix. Like, so you know that I always pronounce words the way they're supposed to be pronounced? So you can take my word for it. It's definitely EGAxslav.
I'm going to say EGAxslav because sometimes I feel like I have to have a sophisticated touch of British casting.
Aha.
EGAxslav right here.
Chip chip
is,
cheerio.
Cheerio. And looks like he'll be making some zealots here with a cup of tea.
Actually, what he's going to be doing.
I disagree. It was yeah, they don't, and they don't say, man, you're right. They don't say, Katu, you're right. You're like, I concur with the gentleman here to my right, and Katu, what a gentleman. Well, expecting great games for you today. And we over here in the bottom left, we do have EGAxslav, the Blue Protoss player, ever so brilliantly showing a great display of build orders, but for some reason, being a little careless here on the top of his ramp, but in the bottom right, we have iSMentalist. And I'm not really sure, but why me? I feel like Mentalist gonna show a great game for us today.
I dare say he will throw down. And you know what? I can't place your accent. Because that's not a real accent as far as I can tell.
No, it transitions into like an Irish accent.
It's like half
Into, like,
Harry Potter, half Scottish, half Irish, and then sometimes has a bit of like German, like Dutch, Swedish even.
It is.
Hints to
I know.
it.
See, this is my diversity.
Dude, you got the whole Europe. The whole Europe.
I got like everything in one because I'm a man all about internationalism, man. I'm all about satisfying all the viewers from every country. Although I'm not really that good at accents. I remember one time I tried to do like an accent that turned like half Russian to half Middle Eastern to half Indian. It was like the weirdest thing ever. And then was that with you? Or I think that was with Kibbles.
Yeah, I don't think it was with me.
It was with Kibbles, and Kibbles was like, "Where are you from, bro?" Dan? Like, I don't even know where you're gonna do it, but I don't even know what's going on with that. I have to really work on it, man. I try to do accents once in a while. I think the only one I can do consistently is a Russian accent. I think that's the only one I can do consistently, but I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of comedians who can do good accents, like the Mexican ones or the Asian ones.
Well, the one thing I'll tell you is don't sit at home in front of the mirror practicing your accent, because then you're a fag. But if you just like keep trying them out like you did today, like that's cool and that's hilarious and that's fun. So just keep doing this, man. Just whenever we're casting, we'll try to pull out a couple of accents, every once in a while, and slowly but surely, by 2015, you're gonna have some really good accents, in your utility belt, your Batman utility belt. You're gonna just pull one out, and you got your shark repellent spray on there, just in the nick of time.
Yeah, man. Well, that's assuming the world lives past 2012. But we'll be here, still casting for Playhem. Hopefully Mentalist and EGAxslav will still be, doing great things at Playhem in that time. By 2015, Playhem will be a very well-known, one of the biggest, if not the biggest.
It's going to be the hugest conglomerate of StarCraft 2 tournaments.
It will be, man.
And it's basically just it's gonna be like, what is it, News Media Corp, Rupert Murdoch's company.
Yeah.
And it's just going to slowly acquire all other tournament-running enterprises.
It will be.
Convert them into the Playhem machine of propaganda.
We're going to have the WSOP, the World Series of Playhem, and we'll have so much stuff. But, in the meantime, though, we'll have to focus on the now, because we have to have a successful cast now in EGAxslav. He scouts everything, man. He sees the Nexus. Did he see? I think he saw the Nexus yet. Oh wait, he didn't. The probe passed just as the Nexus was thrown down, and he did see second gas though, but he didn't see that Nexus. That's huge. But EGAxslav is going to go for a Stargate anyways. He's going to just, be really resilient and resolute on getting his Phoenixes out here.
Well, I mean, this is a really quick Nexus here for Mentalist, and he's actually not going to be able to really saturate it for a bit. He's only on 24 probes, so if EGAxslav gets a slightly later Nexus, it's not going to be the end of the world as we know it. He's also getting a Stargate up, so kind of like the game versus Robo-Hobo, as I like to call him. He's going to be able to go in with those Phoenixes, snipe some probes, and that means that this second base is going to pay itself off even later because he's going to have an even harder time saturating it than he already will. So already we see EGAxslav here getting the Chrono Boosted Phoenix, the Feces, as I know you like to call them, Frodon, and also actually going for an expansion himself.
Yeah, the expansion is going to be slightly later. And, I mean, they're already calling probes now. He's going to have to do some harassment with the Phoenixes. He needs to even up the probe count because he is behind in that regard. He is going to get a good scout of everything. That's, again, another reason why I really like this build. Because he's going to be able to see, pretty much everything that goes on. See the Blink Stalker, or Blink being chrono boosted out. I mean, it's very rare to see Charge being pushed out unless you see some kind of Templar Archon, and then Charge that Archon does have its own place, but for the most part, kind of fallen out of its own flavor of the month trend. Looks like a little bit of harassment on the probes will allow EGAxslav to just, again, ever so slightly have equalization of probe counts. And the whole idea, again, is that he's seen everything. And he's going to be able to control the map, make sure no probes are in the middle of the map, really, to control the watchtowers. But right now, Mentalist, he's going to have to be pretty defensive here, but he is warping in a lot of Stalkers. So if EGAxslav isn't careful, you can set up some pretty elaborate traps.
You can do it, Frodon.
I could.
You can change his
name.
I don't
know, man.
The hardest part is just changing it in your brain, right? Because you're just saying, like, automatically EGAxslav. And, anyways, but, there is one big difference in this game here. It's that Mentalist, he went right into Twilight Council instead of going Robo and then into Twilight Council, as we typically see versus this Phoenix build here. So he's going to have, he's got Blink Stalkers right now. And EGAxslav, I almost said EGAxslav, man. You almost got me converted. That would have been horrible because I don't want to be one of those
I almost got you to say what? I almost got you to say what? Oh, you said it again. Oh, wow. Katsu.
I don't want to be one of those people, man. It's EGAxslav.
You said it twice in about a sentence. And I was sorry, in about 1 minute. So,
here come the Blink Stalkers for Mentalist, man.
Just say it. Yeah, man. Oh, sorry. Enough about that. Blink Stalkers are here. EGAxslav does have Force Field, and he does have Blink. And that will be revealed. The Mortal trying to get into a good position here. And looks like some good micro here on both ends to really make sure that EGAxslav doesn't lose that Mortal. He does trap another Stalker here, but Mentalist does leave accordingly. Now keep in mind, Mentalist, he is a very strong player with micro. He actually even says he loves the micro part of PvP.
Why doesn't he play Terran?
He doesn't play Terran because he has self-respect. I'm just teasing. I'm quoting, of course, Idra. Back in the very long time. Wow, that was a year and a half ago now that I think about it. Several months ago. And EGAxslav, he is going to be transitioning to a Twilight Council himself. Gonna just pretty much get into the ideal composition that he likes. Phoenix, Observers, DTs, transition to maybe an Archon or two. And from this point on, we'll have to do a little bit of an inventory check. Mentalist is up in probes ever so slightly, but for the most part, both players should be relatively even. They both have 4 gases, and they both have this point where neither player can really break the other player. So
no, not on Shakuras Plateau.
Yeah.
Oh man, that Zealot's doing a lot of damage. He's gonna kill a Stalker. That's like the best Zealot in the world. He actually killed a Stalker there. Mentalist was trying to micro a bit too much, but there are some Blink Stalkers here already in position for Mentalist. They're going to do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, the ones on the low ground are going to blink up into the high ground soon. They snipe 2 Phoenixes. Now, the rest of the Phoenixes here going to pick up a lot of probes, take them out, but another one going to get taken out. Great job here by Mentalist, and that does bring him down below the probe count of EGAxslav. He's 47 to 44. And EGAxslav here does have his Twilight Council up, but he's not getting any upgrades from it just yet. And he's actually going back into Phoenix production, interestingly enough.
Yeah, I think he wants to still control the air. He's done some damage to the probe count. He does have a very slightly, but he would like it to even more. So that way you waste corner boost on probes. And look at that, Mentalist already starting to fall for that little trap there. He is corner boosting out probes, as a result not putting it out in production. In the mid game in PvP, you want to spend all your corner boost, that's right, on production, just because it's going to become a war of how many units versus how many units you have. EGAxslav is gearing up though for a massive gateway transition. He's going to start putting down way more gateways. Meanwhile though, how much harassment can his Phoenixes do at this point? Looks like, Mentalist has been doing a pretty good job here defending here at Katu.
He definitely has, man. He's been making EGAxslav pay for those Phoenix intrusions. And you know what, though? Both players were chrono boosting their probes. So EGAxslav here is really just ahead right now because he went for, honestly, just a later Nexus. So he was able to get up his production facilities, and he's now transitioning here into a Zealot charge upgrade. But he's got the Dark Shrine here just completing, and wouldn't you know it, even though Mentalist did make a robotics facility, he hasn't made an observer just yet. We see it queued up behind the Colossus there, and where are these DTs getting warped in? All the way at EGAxslav's base. He didn't have any proxy pylons, so that means that by the time they actually make it over here to Mentalist base, it won't matter anymore, Mr. Frodon, because the observer is going to be out. So a little bit tricky there. Mentalist doing a good job, and that's why you gotta get these proxy pylons out, guys, when you're hitting with DTs, because timing is quite literally everything.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. And it looks like the observer is now out and will be revealed. Mentalist did see that Dark Templar indeed. That should prompt him to make another observer, actually, like on the queue. Instead, he is now caught in that weird, awkward conflict where he has one robotics, but two choices to make with their Colossi or observers. And looks like at this point, EGAxslav is going to just start to motion to take a third base sometime soon. He's moving out with his units, but can't actually do too much. He does have several Phoenixes, though, still alive. And they're the wild card here. How much damage can they do to the Colossus? How many units can they really take out of the battle? And EGAxslav is going to put down the third Nexus, but he is also going to motion out here to put on some aggression because he wants to keep that third base safe here.
Yeah, the best way to have a good defense, Frodon, is to have a strong offense. And EGAxslav here, I guess he read that same book that I did, and he's going to be going for a bit of pressure here, but he's got a lot, and a lot of Zealots in his army, and there's two Colossus out for Mentalist, a third one here getting chrono boosted out. So you know what? These Zealots here are going to just melt away. And here the Phoenix is trying to sneak in, but there's Stalkers waiting for them, so they're going to have to fall back here for a second. And EGAxslav actually going to fall back with his entire army. I guess he's happy to just expand to a third base slightly quicker than his opponent is. And you know what? While all of this was happening, we had another fleet beacon go down, Frodon. We've got a mother ship on the way.
Yeah, so it would have been foolish for EGAxslav to really engage there. I'd say it again, EGAxslav.
Well done.
To
High
engage
five.
there. High five. High five. Very nice. Looks like, Mentalist does have several Stalkers on his high ground main. And, that's kind of like a good thing you want to do. You always want to see if you can keep part of his army segregated. That way your Phoenixes can just join in the battle. They'll just die that much slower just because there's that many less Stalkers out and engaging. And so if you can keep that in the main base, that'll be a good thing for EGAxslav in the huge battle of things. And if not, you can just go and harass, very similar to how Mutalisks engage in battle. Meanwhile, though, looks like Mentalist, he's grabbing his 30 base as well. But with the mothership popping, you said so yourself, Kyle.
Dude, when a mothership pops, she pops, man. Like,
that was more like a suck, and motherships don't suck. And that is the pop I'm looking for.